Hey guys, welcome back to the Arthritis Podcast, official podcast of digital and creative media works, where each week we take something from pop culture and try to break it down to better understand it. My name is David.
Hello. My name's Ben.
I love the dramatic pause.
Thanks.
I think we need to get some kind of a dramatic pause t-shirt.
Dramatic pause.
Where it's like, hey.
Well, how about hi and then on the back?
Why was
my
thinking
name is
like,
Ben. Although
hey,
that's a bit
pause, and then
narcissistic.
maybe you could get whatever your name is on the back. You
It's
know,
a bit
like if your
narcissistic.
name is Kieran, maybe you get one that says Kieran. You know, we just have a shirt for everyone's name.
Kieran. Why did you choose Kieran? You're thinking about that Japanese beer.
It was
sponsored by...
Kieran, there is one behind you. It's not important. Listen, that's not what we're here to fucking talk about. We're here to talk about t-shirts. We're here to talk about social media. I guess you can put hats on in this game. I'm trying to do a segue here. You can put hats on in this game. The custom hats. There's a lot of hats. So let's talk about hats, because this week we're talking about the meaning of Death Stranding.
But also not the meaning.
But also not really,
'Cause we're
because
not
the
really-
meaning is like the gameplay and the gameplay. Listen, we'll get into it. It's a fucking...
Spoilers. No spoilers.
Well, okay, so I'm going to spoil up to the main story. So we'll talk about the conceit of the game, we'll talk about the setups, like the first 10 hours, and then the rest of it I'm not going to spoil at all.
Cool.
If you don't want to hear any spoilers whatsoever, probably don't listen to this, because we're going to talk a lot about the gameplay.
Yeah.
There is a particular moment that we will get to where the game opens up that if you haven't experienced it, I think you should experience for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like waking up, to
Yeah.
be honest. It's like amazing. So yeah, I will spoil that. For those of you unaware, somehow, Death Stranding is a 2019 science fiction post-apocalyptic video game developed by Kojima Productions, starring Norman Reedus, and directed by Hideo Kojima. I almost said Hideo Kojima's.
Kojima's!
Yeah, okay. Before we get into the summary, what do you think about this video game? Be honest with me, Ben.
Be honest. Oh, I really like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I super enjoy it.
Okay.
So, I guess like some history with this game for me. I've always liked Kojima's games. They're like the Metal Gear series. Like it's just like the games themselves are a fun romp. You put them together and you get this really weird fucking storyline, which I don't even understand. But I think he has a really cool aesthetic with his games. So we talked about this when we did an episode on MGS5. It was a post show. We've done something about MGS5 a while ago.
We did an episode where I made you explain it to me,
Right.
because I've never played any of his
And I
games.
think, yeah, and when the trailer for Death Stranding came out, I was like, it looks like Metal Gear Solid 5. I was like, look, the animations. Turns out that's like 90% of the game is the animations. But yeah, I really like it. Like when the trailers were coming out, everyone was like, oh, typical Kojima, looks fucking weird and really obtuse and just confusing. And yeah, that's pretty accurate. But I think, again, because like going in, I knew nothing about this game. I didn't watch gameplay or anything. I just bought it. I was like, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah,
We bought a PS4 pretty much to play Death Stranding.
more or less.
We played other stuff on it, but we were like, we should get a PS4 because Death Stranding's coming out, and also we'll play Persona 5 or something. I don't know. So
Okay.
yeah,
Wow. All right.
I really
invested.
I really do like it. I wouldn't say invested, but like I'm playing a good like hour or two every night.
Okay, so this is the first Kojima game I've played,
Which, boy oh boy, is it one to jump into.
and I gotta say, look, I don't not enjoy it. What I will say is, I don't know if you could comfortably call this. So for some context, it's really hard to talk about this. So for some context, I also am playing at the moment the new Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game, which is a copy
so
of
much a game.
It's
such a video
It's
game.
a AAA game trying to be Dark Souls that is a Star Wars game. So there's a lot going on. Like there's a lot of video game things going on in it. Death Stranding is a lot of things that aren't video game things folded into a video game. I don't know if I like it or dislike it. I've had a lot of fun with the game, and I've had a lot of moments that stood out as enjoyable, but I don't necessarily know that I enjoy the experience of playing it so much as I enjoy the experience of like, doing
Digesting it.
things in the game.
Right, okay.
I don't necessarily enjoy the way that the game plays, but I enjoy
doing things.
gameplay. It sounds... I'll get into it. It's really hard to
Right.
try and explain what I mean. Let's go through the summary, and then let's just try and pick this fucker apart, because there is a lot of gameplay stuff going on under the hood, and things... one of the things I really want to talk about is the things it feels the need to simulate versus the things it doesn't, and what that says about what the game is trying to do, because I think that's a really like kind of pivotal point. Let's get through the summary first. Sam Bridges is a porter. He delivers packages across the post-apocalyptic landscape of America. America is devastated in the wake of the Death Stranding event, which collapsed the wall between the living and the dead. The dead roam the landscape as BTs, deadly invisible creatures connected to the beach of the afterlife. After a void-out destroys Central Knot City, Sam meets Deadman, a doctor from the Bridges Company, who asks Sam to deliver morphine to the dying president of the USA. Sam delivers the morphine to the dying president, his mother, Bridget Strand. Bridget passes away after a difficult goodbye to Sam. Di Hardman, the director of Bridges and Sam's former boss, implores Sam to join Bridges and carry on the president's goal of reconnecting the US. Sam initially refuses, but agrees to take Bridget's body for incineration. On his return to Bridges, Sam is reunited with his sister, Emily Strand. Di Hardman and Emily reveal their plan. Emily is in captivity in Edge Knot City on the other side of the country. Di Hardman asks Sam to take the Cupid, a device that connects people to the chiral network, and travel across the country, reconnecting people to the Bridges network and ultimately saving Emily from the terrorist group, the Homo Demons. Sam embarks on an epic mission to connect all the remaining cities to the network. Along the way, he thwarts plans by Higgs, the leader of the demons, and uncovers the secrets of America that was. Because Sam is a repatriate and has dooms, the Bridges scientists are able to synthesize Sam's blood and bodily fluids as weapons against the BTs. As a result, Sam is able to succeed where no one else has before. He makes his way across America, discovering Higgs and Fragile's complex past and Emily's secrets. The ending of the story sees Sam confront his past, America's future, and finally understanding just what it means to build bridges between people. Credits.
Apparently about 800 metal.
It's a lot. It's more than that. It's like sometimes it's like 1,500. You're like, God damn,
Depending on
boys.
where it is.
I want to talk about the stuff I hate first, because I hate a lot about this video game.
Sure.
A text I sent to Aaron the other day he was like, hey, have you played Death Stranding? And I was like, yeah, dog. Then the follow-up text was, yeah, I've finished it, and I think I hate it.
How did you guys finish this game so fast? Did I just fuck around for a
No,
lot?
I played a lot of this video game. I played this video game like it was fucking homework.
Right, okay.
I nearly finished this video game before last week when we were playing Talk World. Like, I played a lot of this fucking video game.
Yeah, maybe I've just been fucking around a lot.
No, I think it genuinely depends on the servers you end up getting connected to and the usefulness of the people in the strands.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I got really lucky early on in my playthrough where the highways. I did one mission that ticked over like a marker from a 3 to a 4, and like literally all of the highways were built because I just happened to be on a server. I think there was 2 pieces missing where a lot of people. I'd done like each of them I put something into, and then it ticked over.
I'm the reason other people are gonna have a really easy time with that goddamn highway. I've done nothing but build that fucking highway. But we'll get into that.
I spent a lot of time doing it.
We'll get into that.
I want to try and get your perspective on this because I think one of the things that we often talk about with games is the mechanics have a requirement in a lot of video games to emulate the fiction in some way.
Right.
So like a really easy analogy is like in like a Dark Souls game, for instance. If you hit someone with a sword, it's going to do more damage than with like a club because the fiction dictates like swords are like more dangerous weapons. They do more damage.
Sure.
Or like in a Halo video game, this gun is more powerful than this gun for these reasons within the fiction, and you expect the gameplay to reflect that. If a character said, here's this big ass sniper rifle and you're shooting big 50 caliber bullets and it's like dinging off stuff, and then you pull out a pistol and you clock someone in the head and they die immediately, the fiction doesn't necessarily support the gameplay. And this game is weird in that regard. So it wants to kind of have it both ways where my top complaints are just like things that I learned to live with that I think aren't wrong with the game, but just things I didn't like. The controls kind of suck. Not in like a, I know it's deliberate, but like not in like a fun, cool, interesting way to start with, but in a like, to start with, I was fine with it. And then after a while, I was like, if they had just fixed these few UI things and there's one fucking issue I have, I would have been totally fine with it.
So what's your one fucking issue?
I've got 2 specifically.
Okay.
So
because I
think things that are obtuse for the sake of being obtuse that don't make sense with the fiction, and I think even at the expense of the fiction. So for instance, the 2 points that I'd written down is that the vehicles do not feel like they're designed for this game.
Right.
In the post-apocalypse, why are the bikes and trucks not designed to drive on the terrain that you're navigating? There is literally a truck in one of the opening cinematics that is more useful than any truck you ever fucking have in this game, and you never see it again. They just always have their wheels locked. The second thing is the UI is fucking balls. The UI in this game sucks so many fucking eggs. I think they developed this on PC. I don't want to be that fucking conspiracy theorist, but I think it'd work on PC. Why are there 8 clicks to deliver a package? Only hit one button. Don't show me that cutscene again.
So
Also, BT fights never end up being that fun, I think, at the end of the day. The minute they become BTs... I'm just going to go through my list and you can talk about the things that are good. I was going to get this off my chest, so I wasn't going to fucking linger on it. BT fights, once they become the creature... So there's a mechanic in this video game, for reasons I can't explain to you, where when a BT... stops you for long enough and gets close enough, they transmogrify into the real world as a
big old Cthulhu.
As a eldritch creature.
Yeah.
So like I fought like a weird whale, I fought like a weird squid, I fought a lion.
Fought a lot of things.
I fought a lion. But the fights never feel overly satisfying for 2 reasons. The grenade throwing is weird, like it's fine. And then the minute you get a gun to fight them, it's just like it's real easy. And they're not really a threat. The biggest threat they pose is like they damage your gear, or they move your gear more so than damage. They move it more often than not.
Fuck around with your shit,
and it's just like it's an irritant, not in a way that feels like the game. What I was hoping was for less BTs and for them to have a much significantly larger impact on my gameplay.
Right.
So when I go through an area that's got like 15 BTs in it because I need to go to a BT infested place to get a package in the middle.
Right.
A dude,
that exact quest.
A dude sent me to go fetch his toolbox or whatever.
You get back, he's like, "What?
You want that suicide mission?"
Yeah.
But
like,
the thing is, like, if there had been less BTs in that area, but they were harder to deal with, I think it would have been a more interesting quest. Instead, because I had the grenades already, what I was able to do was when I scan them, you can throw it and stun them before they even transform. And it's just an element that, like, after a while, it starts to be not that fun to play, and they just become like a hassle. And I know that's what the game is trying to do, but like I got to the point where I got really good at dealing with them to the point where I was like, this is not, like when you get to a boss in Dark Souls, it's not a 1-to-1 comparison. I was playing a lot of Jedi. When you get to a boss or whatever, it's an obstacle, or like a new enemy is a fucking obstacle. Like the minute that you first encounter in Dark Souls an enemy with a fucking spear and a shield, you're like, what the how do I get around this dude? That kind of thing doesn't really happen ever again in the game right up until the end. Like there is some stuff in the final sequence that does that, but it's not good because it's just like, here's a boss that you have never met before that you could not predict. So I guess my general complaint is like that stuff should be ironed out by gameplay testing and like by someone coming back and saying, hey, this isn't that good. And I wonder if that's just a product of it's Kojima's vision, it's his video game, and that's fine. But it does certainly feel to me, at least in some instances, that no one said, hey, that kind of, you know what? After 40 hours, that kind of sucks to keep doing.
Yeah. So I think we've played the game completely differently.
Yeah, I need to fucking take a breath after that. Holy shit.
I've killed 1 BT in my entire playthrough.
I think I've killed 3.
So like I've thrown a grenade once. So like when I walk through a BT area,
I'm sneaking the whole time.
I'm just trying to avoid them. Mm-hmm. Like I don't, if I see one, I'll just be like, I'm just gonna go away. Let me go this way.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'll go ham on the fucking mules. My bowler gun gets used a lot on the mules.
Okay, I wouldn't think that we're playing it differently. I've just played literally twice the amount.
Right.
So there are sections where you cannot, not that you can't avoid fighting BTs, but the game goes, now's the time when you duke out the BTs. So it does that later in the...
I mean, there's bosses literally where it's like you have to kill a BT.
So the first encounter with Higgs, when you fight that giant weird BT that like... And
you have to kill it.
That's more of a gimmick fight. I'm talking more when you're cruising through with like a...
shit's fucked,
and it's just like you get fucked up because or whatever. Yeah. And you have to fight it. Yeah. So it's not necessarily that I'm not playing it that way. I just think after a while... and I don't know what the solution is, because again, I understand the game's key premise is the mechanics are coarse for a reason. It's trying to teach you to start to trust other players, to have your back. And so when you get to an area where you're struggling, look for that ladder, look for that bridge. The whole point of it is to get you to rely on people you've never met, and it's kind of this allegory for
making connections.
Something. And it's like, how do we solve the world? It's video games.
Yeah, I don't know though, because
what do you mean?
Let me talk about what
can you talk? Because I feel like I shut up.
Let me talk about my experience, because we've apparently had wildly different experiences with this game. So I love the controls. I love the fact that I have to hold L2 and R2 24/7. Like, it's such a, like, that's like a big complaint for a lot of people, but I love it. I think it's so just like ridiculous and funny.
It also engages me in a way because I'm all like,
well,
you know what I mean?
It's kind of this thing where it's like the default isn't you'll be fine. The default is you're kind of like a bit reckless and you might just fall over if you step on a rock. So it's like you really have to like it feels it's like kinematic. It's like you're locking yourself in. And even, you know, even the fact that the best option is to always hold L2 and R2, I don't know, it just adds something to where, you know, when you first get the bike, you're like, oh my God, I can just not press these buttons now. Like, this is fucking fantastic. And then you just hold down R2 to accelerate. So for me, I really like walking around in particular. Like, that's just like a weird thing that I really
I enjoy it for the same reason I like doing it. Well, not for the same reason, but, you know, in the same way I like doing it in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
There is something fucking transcendent in this video game of going, I need to get from here to here and just walking and just like an empty country.
Yeah.
And the only thing you have to do is make sure you don't tip over.
Yeah.
It is that shit. Like, honestly, there have been nights where like this is a game of like, this is the ultimate game of just one more.
Yeah.
I'm a big criminalist where like I'm like on the couch at like fucking 11:30 at night or like midnight or 2 a.m. on a work night being like, just one more delivery.
Yeah.
And like I've got the Bluetooth headphone on and I'm like lying on the TV and my girlfriend's like, did you come to bed at all last night? And I was like, no, but I delivered that pizza. Like it honestly, I love walking through the countryside.
Yeah.
And there's a place later in the game with the snow. Yeah. Oh my God, I love walking in the snow.
I've head up to the snow. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. So I love that shit. I'm with you.
So for me and that trekking especially, so you're probably the same snow thing I'm talking about, but so in regards to the BTs, when you first start playing, most of your paths are just like go here and it's just like, all right, you just kind of walk in the straight line. And like most obstacles you come across, they're pretty easy to avoid. And at that stage you're kind of, and they don't really throw BTs in your face. They tend to be more scripted. It takes a long time. Yeah, and then when you hit a point, the game sort of opens up, which is that opening up point, and everything gets a bit more random, and like, you know, delivery routes are a bit like you want me to go there? Like, that's so far away. Yeah. And especially like towards the end where it's just like, go over this mountain. You're like, what? It's like, mountain.
Yeah.
That mountain? Like, just a fucking Todd Howard? You see that mountain? Yeah. You can climb it.
You see that one you thought was a backdrop?
Yeah.
Could you go over it? And you're like,
it's like, can you go around it? And you're like, what? And when you get stuff like the weather station where you can start seeing where the timefall is, and then you can start, you know, from that you can pretty much be like, oh, there's going to be BTs here and here and here. I spent a lot of time just avoiding BTs.
Spent a long time planning routes, yeah.
Yeah, and because of that, combined with most of the time to avoid BTs, it means you got to walk, and you can't really just like take a road because they'll go straight through them. It's like, it's that kind of thing where, you know, most of the problems with the BTs, I didn't really have too much of an issue because I just avoided them most of the time.
Yeah, I suppose maybe my complaint is specifically reserved for like that last sequence.
Yeah.
So maybe shelf that, because I think you're right.
Yeah.
The game doesn't encourage you to fight them either.
Yeah, and I guess.
Wait, have you got proper weapons yet?
Yeah. I've done the weird.
Oh my God! When they're like, here's a fucking handgun, and I was like, sorry.
Yeah, I did the sequence where they take you to that particular point in time, and it's just like
the sequence?
kill some guys.
Okay, the first one at least.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think that highlights for me a lot of what this game is interested in, because that sequence doesn't feel like it's part of this video game. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's like that. It turns into a third-person shooter at that point.
So and it doesn't. The game doesn't lend itself to that, which I don't know if that's Kojima on purpose being like, hey, this isn't a shooter, you idiots. I can't tell the intention with that.
It's very similar. Well, so the weird thing with this game is that they've somehow managed to recreate an engine that they don't own. So Metal Gear Solid 5 was built on the Fox engine, which they built in-house. It cost Konami a fuck ton of money, which is partly why they gave them the boot, because they were like, you've spent how much on this goddamn engine for a game that doesn't sell that much? Get the fuck out. We're going to make mobile games. The Fox engine has like that aesthetic, that like Metal Gear Solid 5 aesthetic where like everything's a bit jank. And like it is a pretty like it's just an engine. Like they use it for their soccer games now, the Fox engine. So like it is a general purpose engine. They're kind of
like Frostbite with who is that Origin? Where they use that for their EA Origin. They use that for all of their
like FIFA uses Frostbite.
Yeah, like Dragon Age.
Yeah, it's like the Battlefield engine. Yeah, so it's like it's general purpose.
I was like, am I going crazy?
Yeah. But
how Ubisoft uses the Snowflake. What was the one from Division? Yeah, but like it's a baseline. It's not. I think a lot of people hear engine, they think like style. They think like aesthetic.
Yeah. And I think, you know, the fact that, because he took his entire team when he went and did Kojima Productions, but it's like they've managed to like recreate this aesthetic where it's like Metal Gear Solid 5, just going around and gunning down people is not a great way to play because it's very jank and it's hard and the controls suck.
Yeah.
In this game, it's the same. It's like running around and gunning people is hard. The controls suck, and it's like it sucks to aim. And there's just this whole sequence for it.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, like talking about this game's hard because stuff like that kind of jank, I enjoy it when it's, and I've done like a video on this, I'm pretty sure. I enjoy it when it's like the crux of the game. It's not like the game isn't relying on that jank to be engaging. So like this game doesn't rely on its shooting mechanics to be fun. It relies on and the things that it does rely on, which is the movement. They are jank, but they're like quite well fleshed out in their jank.
There's also a way that you can play them. So I think there's a way you can play them that means that they're not jank. I think the game encourages you to play in a specific way where if you're looking at a path that you're about to take, you should know I can't go up an incline that steep. I need to weave
You need to
this
constantly
way.
scan and you need to actually pay attention to the information the game gives you and say, I'm going to take this route because it's the smoothest.
One of the things I've been doing as well, I've been playing, if I'm going on a long journey or whatever, is I've been trying to watch. So I think one thing that's really important with games like this is to watch as much footage of other people play it as you can.
Right.
And a lot of people who are playing it that I've watched, and Donkey in particular, I was watching his review this morning, and a lot of the gameplay footage he had captured was him walking up. So his complaints are like the controls are like he basically just hated it. But I was watching a lot of the gameplay and like he was trying to go up inclines that clearly he couldn't with that much weight or that weren't designed for your character. Like you need to be on a bike for that or a truck or whatever. Like and there's an element of you should be able to try and do that, but the game wants you to play it in a specific way where you should go, if I take that road that's easy, right, I'm going to run into those BTs, or I need to plot my course through this really fucked up mountain pass.
Well, because the funny thing is, when I was given the mission of, all right, now you've made it to mountain, go all the way back and then come all the way back again, I fucking mountain goated around the entire ridge of the mountain because I didn't want to fuck around with any BTs or mules. Yeah. And the game just let me. Like, it took a while and I sort of had to like stop every now and then and be like, all right, where can I go? I got to get my stamina up. But it's like, if you figure out the path that, you know, you do a scan, you check the elevation, you look at it, you go, I can probably do this. And you hold L2 and R2 and you push that stick, you'll do it. Your character will just plod along and it's...
But you have to be really patient and when he starts to do it,
you have to just stop. You be like, all right.
But it's so hard because it's not an action. Like, I think it's really hard for a lot of people, though, because they're used to playing action video games where it's like the game is designed to make you feel empowered.
Well, I think for me, like a big like litmus test is like when I started climbing this mountain, I'm like, well, this was like when you're in Skyrim when you're like running up mountains with a horse and like the horse just goes up.
Yeah.
But with Skyrim, that's like it's so jank, and you know when you're running up a mountain in Skyrim and like glitching the game, your horse will do that thing where it'll be in its running animation and it'll get stuck on some geometry for a bit and it'll glide across and then zip up the mountain, then glide across a little bit and then zip up some more. And it's like this game, you feel like you're doing that, but the animation and the way that your character is like sticks to the ground, you look like you're just clambering up a mountain.
Well, he always like Sam always feels like he has weight and mass.
Well, I don't think it's weight and mass. I think it's more he's like connected to the ground, which makes it even more like fucking shit your pants terrifying when he gets swept up or when he falls over. You're like, oh, that's not meant to happen. What the heck? And your shit goes everywhere.
Okay.
Like there's like a real, like the IK in this game is fucking top notch. Like the inverse kinematics, but that's when your feet are stuck to the ground.
Yeah, you need to. Do you want to?
Oh, inverse kinematics is just like if you have an animation of someone walking and then they start walking up a hill, it's like you don't want their feet to go through the ground. Yeah. So you start saying, attach your feet to the floor to like the geometry instead of the ground, and then the animation will actually like procedurally step up the hill and stuff. It happens a lot on like stairs in video games. You'll be like on a stair and one foot will be like up, It's like looks really jank. Dark Souls does a decent job of it, even though it looks weird in places.
Yeah.
But like just the way that you always have that connection to the ground. It like gives you. It's like, oh, this feels good. Like normally games where it's like, so games like QWOP or like sort of like those physics-based platformer games where it's like, oh, get your ragdolly body to the end. I find those games really like get on my nerves with this like one specific situation where like if you've got a character who's like stuck in a situation and it's like you're pressing buttons but your character's just like jiggling around.
Like getting over it.
Yeah, like getting over it.
Yeah.
That like for me that's like it's like really annoying. It's like an internal thing. But like this game, I was like, oh, it's gonna be full of this shit because it's like it's all uneven. But it's like you just, and it's not that you glide over things. It's that like, you know, if you come up to a rock and like your character gets stuck, you just press X and he'll just climb over it.
Sam is like designed to overcome these obstacles.
Yeah.
In a way that this is where
the vehicles fucking suck. I hate those.
Let's get to that in a second. This is where I get stuck in trying to talk about this fucking video game.
Right.
So the game. So Kojima described it as the first Strand game.
The first Strand genre video game.
To be genre, right?
Yeah. Which is fucking weird.
Which is so weird. But I think more what he's trying to say is it's a genre pastiche so complex that we haven't really seen it before. Because this game weirdly shares like DNA with something like Breath of the Wild and then like a lot of simulators.
Yeah.
In the sense that, and I want to be really clear about how I try and word this, in the sense that it decides that particular things in the world should be simulated and not others. So, for instance, like if you've been on an airplane with a middle-aged person or a middle-aged man, you've watched them play Football Manager on a computer probably, right?
Yeah.
And Football Manager is a game that you simulate football and it's like black dots on a screen playing football or whatever. The thing about that game that is interesting and complex and the reason it is compelling is certain things are simulated and certain things are not. So your players do things like get injuries. If it's raining or whatever, they play poorly. If you haven't paid them enough the previous quarter, they're less likely to perform well unless they have this kind of personality trait. It simulates all these things and this complex matrices are sort of machinations going on in the background that feels like a real life kind of simulation of something specific. The game then doesn't go, and then we've simulated their personal lives. And he's having trouble because he's fighting with his girlfriend. They decide the thing they're going to simulate, and they do that well, and that's the scope of it.
Yeah.
Right? So I just want to be really clear when we're talking about this as a simulator. It's not like, and you have
Farming
to eat
simulator.
and sleep and poop. Like,
Right.
it's like, it's a game that...
It's not like Red Dead.
No, it chooses to simulate like a specific, like, I guess it's like a horizontal slice of existence.
Yeah.
And, you know, a good example is the vehicles. So Sam can only carry so much weight, and then he's affected by, like, momentum and, like, shifting his mass and center of gravity and things like that. Not so much.
The vehicles just go.
On a bike, there's no
Yeah.
real worry about tipping the bike ever because it's a trike for some reason. It's shit. It doesn't work on the terrain at all. But then, weirdly, the truck does not follow the same rules. If you load the truck up too much and you go around a corner, it's going to roll.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think the thing that's missing is that central linchpin of, like, what is it that we're simulating? And that control of simulation, and it's kind of why I'm enjoying Jedi Fallen Order, is it's simulating something very specific, which is what is it like to be on a hero's journey as a Jedi, right? And it's grabbing those components and it's saying, but we actually don't care about, you know, how does he maintain the lightsaber? When is he
Right.
sleeping? All that, like, it gets rid of all that stuff. This game feels like it wants it all the different ways. Where it wants you to be able to piss whenever you want, but only if you have stuff in your bladder. It wants you to be able to go to sleep and shower and poop and do all these things.
Except I think that stuff is different to a simulation because this is like a Kojimaism, which we sort of mentioned before, where it's like those things all have like weirdly specific gameplay implications.
Mm-hmm.
So the showering, the pooping, the peeing, it's like you get grenades for them. Like it's weird, but it's like that we're just gonna give you some.
Do you ever
grenades.
use a piss grenade?
I have used a piss grenade.
Okay. What do they do?
They just kind of do the same as a hematic grenade,
Yeah.
but less
Good.
potent. Yeah. Because it's your piss. But it's like those kind of options. It's kind of similar to the whole, like, in Metal Gear Solid 1. It's like, if you want to fast travel, you put yourself in a delivery box and jump in a truck and wait. It's like, there's a mechanic, it's obtuse, it's kind of weird, but it's like, it's placed in the world so that it doesn't feel like a weird gamey thing, even though it totally is. It's just like, oh, this is just part of the world. So, like, the fast travel, which is being jumped by Fragile, it's like, sure, they could have just entirely made a character for the sole purpose of we need a reason to explain fast travel, which I know she's like integral to the game or whatever. But like, it's
maybe
like,
it is just for the fast travel.
They utilize her to explain the fast travel in the same way that like the boxes in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, I totally.
They're like, it's just fast travel. Well, the boxes in Metal Gear Solid 1, there's multiple boxes. Even though they all do the same thing, but they just fast travel you to different places. So the only reason they have multiple boxes is so you can fast travel.
I guess.
So in this game, it's like Fragile exists as part of the story, but they're like, we will let her jump so that she can fast travel.
I guess like that's where I'm stuck in my ability to like kind of talk about what this game is trying to do with its mechanics. So there's an argument to be made that the goal of the game is you come into it, you struggle against that initial area, and it's fucking hard. Like the first
sucks,
10 hours sucks. It's not fun, and you have to really power through that. And then you start to connect, and you start to see that infrastructure, and you start to have more options available to you.
Infrastructure. Oh my god. It's like, that's like...
The minute you get a highway that connects to another highway...
The minute you get like fucking zip lines... Oh my god, zip lines have changed my life.
Zip lines are like...
Zip lines are so good. I just walk around and I just place them in random places and I'm like, this will be useful eventually.
Yeah, some dude in... I was going back down the mountain and some dude had done like zip lines all the way down.
Oh yeah, I did that.
And I was like, you're a fucking hero.
Yeah, like, again, I'm the guy, like, I've spent so much time doing fucking infrastructure. It was like, someone's gonna come along and get connected to me and have a goddamn time of their life.
Absolutely, but that's what I think this game is trying to do, is it's trying to get you to... Because it does benefit you in that moment to a degree, but the main thing is it feels like you're contributing. And I know it's a video game. I'm trying not to get too pretentious, but like, I know it's a fucking video game.
Yeah.
But there is nothing more satisfying than coming, you've planned your route perfectly and you've scanned the different lay of the land, like I'm going to go this way, that way. And you get to a particular point and you're like, scan did not show this. I can't, what am I? And you turn around, there's like a ladder or a rope and you're like, thank you, Clint Licker 29.
Let me spam my fucking touchpad on my controller.
You like give him a bunch of likes and use his fucking ladder. And that to me at least is what this game is trying to do, is because that stuff is, I don't know what the word for it, but like it's asynchronous multiplayer. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess that's one way to say it. Yeah.
And because you can't see those players, all you can see is what they've left you. It gives you this real sense of like connectivity in a way that when you play a Dark Souls game and you summon someone in, or a Bloodborne or whatever, and you summon someone in to help you, you can see the way they're behaving. You can tell they're a
human, a
dipshit on the other end with a controller.
Yeah.
Right? But because this stuff is just things people have left behind, the objects themselves don't have characterization. So you're able to just enjoy the fact that it was helpful for you. You're not worrying about the fact that he typed, whatever in the chat and
even I've had times where I've fallen into a chasm, or like I've just done something so stupid and I'm like, oh fuck, this is so dumb. I'm going to be stuck here for ages. And then like I go along and someone's like put a ladder. And my initial thought is just like, okay, someone else is like, I'm not the only idiot who's fallen down this hole. Thank you, person, for putting up a ladder to solve my problems. That stuff is
real nice.
Yeah, I've like come across like motorcycles just in the worst fucking place, and I'm like, this is unfortunate but very useful.
The best thing is when you come across like a vehicle that is in a place where a vehicle should not be. And like, how did you get this here? I
just
guess
random bridges over nothing. You're like, thanks, dude. And you drive over it.
I love that.
It's a great time.
But that stuff, like, it feels so significant when you're doing it. But when you try and scope back and you try and talk about why this game works, so I don't know if it's a new genre or not. I don't know if I completely agree with that kind of broad strokes thing. It's hard to fucking talk about, and that is such a thing that is unusual in games. I don't know if we need better language or if we need new language, or I don't know where I land on it.
I think, because so a lot of like the media around this game, there was some post that I got tagged in where it was like, oh, try to explain Death Stranding in one sentence, and like every response was just like, it's a walking simulator, which is like, like. If we're gonna give it something that it already exists, it's like, it fits, but it feels so much more like it. It almost feels like as a game, it kind of needs sort of like a more general genre that doesn't quite match up to like, you know, it's not like a one-to-one match of like this genre requires these game mechanics. In the same way that, you know, if you've got a film and they're just like, it's a drama, like that could be fucking anything. But you have this expectation of just like, okay, it's going to have a story and it's going to involve some problem and it's gonna be a progression of character and we're gonna go through, you know, it might be adventurous, it might be sci-fi, whatever, but it's like, you know, the term drama gives you that idea of like, I know what to expect. And, you know, there's terms like Souls-likes, which are like kind of like that, where it's like it doesn't quite define the gameplay mechanics unless it's like it's just Dark Souls, but the idea of like, oh, it's really hard and when you die you go back to the like corpse run kind of thing. It's like that does kind of define a game mechanic, but like the rest of the game's pretty open.
Because you could have a corpse-like game that's you can have a sci-fi adventure story. Yeah, like the Star Wars one. You could have a corpse run game that's like
a space shooter or a racing game, or like I don't fucking know.
I wonder if we need different, because we're talking about genre as like the narrative. It's like drama is like a type of narrative genre.
Yeah,
corpse-like is a video game genre. The thing that's hard about this game is the thing it is both. I mean, because the story's not amazing, but
no, it is quite story heavy,
and the fact that the story so heavily dictates the way the mechanics feel, and as a character who doesn't touch anyone, there is this element to it that just like that shit. If he was someone else who was like all hugs and had a girlfriend or whatever, the game would not have anyone near the impact it does when you fucking climb up a ladder and you feel like you've connected to the world.
Yeah,
it's a game that you have to describe through really shitty things that games journalists should never do, which is like metaphors and similes. Like this game feels like when you're having a really hard week and coming home to discover that someone has cooked dinner for you. That's what this game feels like when you play it.
Yeah.
It feels like that 1 week where you lose your job and your girlfriend breaks up with you and this happens and that happens. And then like at the end of the week, this one friend has like done this magical thing for you. Like, you know, they put up that trellis in your backyard that you've been meaning to do for months. And it's that experience.
But then like other times it feels like you're the person making the dinner. You're the person, you're the good friend making the trellis.
Exactly.
Like you bounce between those. So it's like you do something, you're like, almost for the sole purpose of like, this is going to help someone else. Well, I don't need it right now.
Not even will help, could help.
Right.
Could help.
Because a lot of the times your stuff just sits there with 0 likes and no interactions.
And there's a
and sometimes your bridge gets used fucking a bajillion goddamn times. And every time you log in, it's like you've got 1,000 likes. And you're like, where the fuck did those come from?
So I think it's the could. It's the possibility that you can help others and the possibility they can help you. Not that it's a requirement for the game, but in fact that it is not. That makes it what it is. It's why everyone's having such a hard time talking about it, because it's a game that explores the possibility of just kindness for the sake of it.
Right.
It's altruism for the sake of altruism. It's not. You don't get. You get likes, but you don't get like.
You can't do anything with.
You
the
don't
likes.
Get bonus XP.
You literally can't do anything.
It doesn't do anything.
With the likes. It's just a number.
It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
You can't spend this shit to buy more cool boots or guns. It is just a metric by which you can tell how many people are saying thank you. It's a game about doing kind things and seeing gratitude as a result.
And giving gratitude to other people who have done things. Yeah.
And that's the most wholesome shit I've ever heard. Yeah. In a game that's about like weird babies and like death beaches and whatever. Like ultimately it's a game about connectivity, and if you want to call the genre strand, whatever, I would prefer to just call it like something that attempts to make a statement about where we are in the world. And I don't think video games is going to solve it, but I think it's an interesting step in teaching people who are generally good at detaching empathy into just like being a bit better to each other. It's just a tiny bit.
It's a game about dramatic exploration of both the self and the world.
And if that ain't America, I don't know what the fuck is. I don't know why I did a finger gun. It felt right. It felt right? And no, I hate it. No, I wish I hadn't done it. Scratch that from the record. I hated that. Oof, never doing that again. I was like, Ben made a really good pivot point. Time to ruin it.
No.
Getting rid of that. Do you have any recommendations for this week?
I've just been playing Pokemon.
Okay.
On the train.
The new one, okay.
The new one. So I've been playing it when I can't play Death Stranding, basically. Because I'm about to go home and play more Death Stranding.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I've been playing the new Pokemon because it's on the Switch. It's fine. I haven't played a Pokemon game since I played the remake of Sapphire and Ruby and stuff on 3DS. Omega Sapphire and Delta Ruby.
They remade those in the 3DS?
Yeah, they're pretty good remakes. You should pick them up. If you have a 3DS.
The last
which
one I
know
played
you
was
don't.
the Diamond and Pearl. I have a 3DS. Fuck you.
You have a 3DS?
Maybe I don't. I was like,
You'd have a regular DS
I think
because you got a bunch of DS games, but you don't have any 3DS games. So yeah, I've been playing that, and it's all right. Me and Laura have been playing it. That's the main reason.
3DS? It is.
Yeah, that's a 3DS.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations, David. Why don't you have any 3DS games? David just has a pile of DS games and he owns a 3DS. What a weirdo.
You're a weirdo.
I can give you the Sapphire one. What one did you play as a kid? Ruby or Sapphire? Were you a cool kid, or did you have Emerald? Do you have...
No, my brother had Emerald. I got Ruby when he was done with it. I got a lot of secondhand shit as a kid.
Yes, I've been playing that. It's cool. It's set in like, you know how they're all set in like fictional versions of like real places. It's set in like a fictional Scotland, which is great.
How's Brexit going?
I think they're just avoiding the subject.
Dope.
Yeah.
In real life, it's not going well. So.
Yeah, everyone eats curry, which is the most.
You sure it's not England?
It's kind of England, Scotland, Wales, blah blah blah.
Wales. No one gives a fuck.
There's a lot of, like it's kind of England, but then there's like a lot of like plaid and flannel. So it's like
could be both. I've been playing. I was saying before, I'm playing the new Star Wars video game.
Yes.
I have so many conflicting thoughts about it. It's really fun. Like I'm having a good time, but the level design, it's like someone described to someone else what Dark Souls feels like, and they were like, obtuse ways to find where you're going. That's what we should go for.
Right.
But it also gives you a map, so you never learn the physical spaces. You end up staring at a map.
Yeah.
The gameplay is really cool. There's a thing you can do in this game. There is a button to just ignite your lightsaber.
It's like, it's fucking green when it's green when it lights up shit.
You just bring it out.
That's what you need.
And it like
that's all you.
And
that's what every Star Wars game is missing.
You
just
go
being
into,
able to crack it.
dude. Cracking the lightsaber with like my like 5-point whatever surround sound system, like in the dark room, like I'm in a dark room in the game, and I hit that button and it goes, and I'm like, yes, video games are good. It's such a good video game. I love it. That honestly, like, I found that out and I was like, oh yeah, it's real good, and it plays like Dark Souls. I'm having a good time with it so far. I'm interested to see what it does narratively, but I am really enjoying it, and we'll try and do an episode on it. Maybe try and get Aaron.
I probably won't because I don't really have an intention of playing it.
Try and tag someone else in because Ben is not interested.
No.
Good
don't know why. I don't know. Star Wars games aren't really my thing, except for Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy.
If you like that,
that game slaps.
If you like that, you like this.
Oh, fuck. God damn it.
Is
it really similar?
It's really
good. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
God damn it.
There's
I might have to.
I don't want to talk about it too much. You can customize your lightsaber. You
Is
can change the metals and change the bits and or change all the bits on it, change all the colors and shit.
Has it got like a physical lightsaber where it's like it actually moves through space and collides? Oh, fuck.
To an extent.
Okay.
It's still a video game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you want to find us on the internet, we're Dcm.Works everywhere. The best place to find all of our stuff is Dcm.Works. That'll link you out to all of our socials. If you want to follow us on all those socials, best place is Twitter. It's where we post the most stuff. Otherwise, if you want some early behind-the-scenes sneak peeks or you just want to join our community, Discord is where you can find us. We're a publicly searchable server. Otherwise, Dcm.Works/chat. Otherwise, if you want to support us, which is the best way to make sure we can keep doing this, patreon.com/DCMWorks. You get access to our post show, which is like an extra good solid 20 minutes of Ben and I.
A little slice of us shooting the shit.
Just shooting the shit and fucking around.
Yeah.
It's some of my favorite stuff. There's an hour-long episode that will be up by now with me, Ben, and Aaron talking about Outer Worlds.
Yeah, before we finish the game.
Before we finish the game, we even record our episode, but I end up yelling at Aaron for his bad opinions.
Yeah,
it's extremely good.
We get into it.
It's real good. So go check that out. You also get early access to all kinds of projects that we're doing. So the big feature projects we're putting out, you can see there's a week early. By the time this goes up, 2 of those will be out, but you would have seen them by now at the time of recording, so go check that out. Otherwise, if you want to follow us individually, I'm at DC My Head Pie.
I'm at Little Citrus.
We'll see you guys next week.